About a month ago, a poster for the amazing Digital Circus appeared in stores earlier than expected. There was one major difference, though. It featured a bumblebee wearing Caine's hat. So what did this mean? Well, it means nothing because
I made it all up. Surprise.
that's right. What you saw was what's commonly known as a fake leak or a hoax. Hi, my name is Dice, and I am a performative digital media artist. I create both 2D and 3D artwork designed to provoke reactions from the public. Usually anonymously, I create things like ARGs or internet hoaxes of random assortment of media. One of my biggest strengths is replicating existing art styles and creating believable scenarios that make people question whether what they're seeing is officially licensed or fan-made. The goal is to blur that line just enough to spark discussion. I don't usually reveal my involvement in these projects. I prefer letting the mystery speak for itself. However, if you've spent enough time in Nintendo communities or Western animation fandoms, there's a good chance you've encountered some of my work before in the form of fake leaks and hoaxes. The reason I'm revealing this one is simple. I'd like to showcase what I can do. If anyone is interested in my artistic abilities, marketing ideas, or experience creating viral hoaxes and ARG-style content, my contact information is on screen. I'd also love to connect with fellow indie animators or YouTubers who saw the Bee poster. It's a long shot, but even if I never end up getting work from this video, I'd love the opportunity to talk with people in the indie animation space. I genuinely enjoy the medium, and learning more about how these productions come together would be a dream. Now that that's out of the way, I want to answer 2 questions. Why did I create this hoax? And how did I make it? I've always loved fake leaks and internet hoaxes. They always created fun discussions, especially in fandom communities. My favorite leaks usually come from Nintendo games, like Super Smash Bros. I still remember being tricked by the Grinch and Rayman leak. It's so cool seeing some of the most talented artists, animators, editors, and programmers come together to create something convincing, something that'll create discussion. To create a convincing fake leak, you must not only replicate the medium's art style, but come up with a convincing enough story on how said image or video was leaked. The craftsmanship behind them, the artwork, the storytelling, the attention to detail. It's just so incredible. More importantly, I think fake leaks serve an important purpose. Today, real leaks have become incredibly common. Projects that creators spend years developing often end up online long before they're ready to be shown. Scripts get leaked, announcements get spoiled, and major surprises disappear before audiences have the chance to experience them as intended. As a fan, that can be very disappointing. Fake leaks introduce uncertainty. They create an environment where every supposed leak is questioned. When believable hoaxes exist, people become less certain about what's real and what's fake. That skepticism can help preserve surprises and make audiences think twice before accepting every leaked image or rumor as fact. That's ultimately why I do this. Not because I want to disappoint people. Not because I want to create drama within fandoms. I do it because I love the excitement of discovering something for the first time. I want major reveals to remain surprising, and I believe fake leaks help keep that sense of mystery alive by ensuring that even genuine leaks are met with a degree of doubt. For me, that's what makes the whole thing worthwhile. Now, how did I create the poster? It all started with an idea. I thought Caine might come back as a bee in episode 9. Obviously that didn't happen, but the concept stuck with me. I wanted to visualize what Bee Caine might look like, so I rewatched episodes of The Amazing Circus only to discover that Caine had already drawn himself as a bee. From there, I decided to bring that version of him to life. I redrew him in full color, added shading, and used some Photoshop techniques to give him a 3D rendered look. Then I placed him in the poster, staring up at the lamp, and that became the base image. But I knew the image alone wouldn't spark much attention. Anyone could do something similar. So I took it a step further. I photoshopped the image onto a poster display and claimed I had found it at Five Below. At first, that didn't generate much buzz either. So I escalated things. I printed out the poster, brought it into real stores, and asked employees if I could temporarily place it on display as a quick prank. Some stores said no, some said yes, but either way, I got enough footage to make it look like these posters were appearing in multiple locations. Still, I knew people might question why they hadn't seen it in their own stores. So to make the story more believable, I created a fake official-looking document suggesting the posters were pulled from shelves due to potential spoilers. That's when the hoax really started to take off. I began seeing YouTube channels I loved watching covering it. Artists and 3D animators even started creating their own versions of Bee Caine. At that point, I considered it a success. Another silly hoax I could share with close friends before moving on to whatever I wanted to create next, whether it be another hoax or fan art. However, one of my friends suggested something different. Instead of staying anonymous, I should start promoting myself and showcasing my work publicly. And well, that's exactly what I'm doing now. I usually prefer to keep my hoaxes a mystery, but this time I'm using it as an opportunity to maybe break into the indie animation scene. It's a long shot, I know, but to tell you the truth, I'm sick of working at retail. I feel like Gangle when she was stuck working at McDonald's. At the very least, I hope this video can connect me to some indie animators who could give me advice on how to work for someone like Glitch. Anyways, before I end the video, I want to show a few past hoaxes to give you a better idea of my style. I know I just said I like to stay anonymous, but these didn't really gain traction anyway, so I feel like the mystery isn't as important here. First, I made a simple 2D drawing of Flora from Talk and the Power of Juju, along with a mock logo for Talk and the Power of Juju HD. Since Purple Lamp Studios, who are currently working on SpongeBob games, have the license for Talk, I thought an HD remake wasn't out of the question. But it didn't gain any attention, probably because Talk is a pretty niche, early 2000s Nickelodeon franchise that most people have forgotten. Next is my Mario Wonder, Bellabelle Park hoax, which I'm extremely proud of even though it never took off. I designed what the DLC card artwork might look like, combining existing Mario models with custom edits and drawings. It even predicted Rosalina appearing in the game before she was officially announced. I also created a fake release date and a believable story about someone finding the cards early. But unfortunately, just 3 days later, Nintendo officially revealed the real release date and artwork, which completely shut down the hoax before it had a chance to spread. Finally, I made a Splatoon 4 leaked idol hoax. This one didn't work due to poor timing and a weak premise. I claimed a Japanese magazine leaked the information early, which didn't really make sense. Plus, Splatoon 3 at the time had just come out. That said, I'm still really proud of the character designs I created, including the idol, salmonids, and even a fake amiibo render. It just never caught on. There are many more hoaxes I'm even more proud of, but like I said, I still want to keep some of that mystery alive. If you're interested in my work, or if you want help creating an ARG or promotional campaign, feel free to reach out to my work email to discuss details. Before I end the video, I wanted to quickly share something. I placed an eBay listing for the fake amazing Digital Circus poster I made. The link is in the description. The starting bid will be $125, and all proceeds from the auction will be donated to Trans Lifeline, a US-based nonprofit run by and for transgender people. They provide peer-led emotional support through a crisis hotline, as well as direct financial assistance to trans individuals in need, including help with legal name changes and basic necessities. I know $125 is a lot. I'm sorry for the high starting price, but I'm hoping that if someone does decide to buy it, the money can go toward a good cause. Anyway, that's it for the video. Hope you have a wonderful Pride Month.